Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the, let me bring up, I'll actually share the screen and bring up our agenda. That's going to help me, except that Seth has disabled screen sharing. Seth, can you give me back screen sharing?
Yes. Let's see here. I'm sorry, because you did be a co-host to be able to do that. Are you the only one sharing your screen? Yes, Patrice, yes?
I believe I am the only one sharing my screen.
That's
I
fine.
just
I'll be
want to,
on standby. You should be able to share now. You want to try that?
I can. I just want to bring up the agenda so I am fully prepared for this. There we go. All right, so it looks like this evening we were going to call to order and roll call to confirm a quorum. I can visually see that we have one, but I would like to have a roll call nonetheless. So we know that Paul is here and is having a difficult time speaking. So Paul, if you can just raise your hand. Yay, great. So Patrice May, I am here. And I don't know everyone's name off the top of my head. I apologize for that. I believe it's Craig. Can you roll call?
I'm
Craig?
here.
And maybe I'll have everyone self-identify. That's going to help me a little bit. So next I see Kyle on the list. And let's see if we can see you all there we go. So after Kyle, we had Paul. So Jen, roll call.
Yeah, I'm here for Rec Commission.
Awesome. Next to Jen, I don't recognize on, well, you're all seeing my screen. The young woman, can you identify yourself? And
Me?
yes, you.
Okay. I'm Corey. I just started with the town about a month ago as the new Coastal Resources Officer. So I am working with Kyle on coordinating some of the RFPs for this project.
Awesome, welcome.
Thanks.
And then I can't remember your name, but you're above Seth and below Paul in our grid. So can you see your name is not showing, unfortunately. Underneath Paul, I think your name might be. I apologize. I was not prepared to be chairing the meeting, so I'm winging it here. I don't have the list of the entire committee.
Patrice, I think it's Jeff and Andrew are on the committee.
Oh, all right. Jeff, can you roll call?
Jeff Dugan from the Commission on Disabilities. Also, Eric Donovan is listening in from the Commission as well.
Thank you very much. Thanks for helping me out there, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
No problem. No problem.
I know. I see Sue DePesa. Seth, we have Eric Donovan, Fran McMillan, and Mary. Okay. Well, I think the first thing, well, obviously we have a quorum. It looks like all of the commissioners are present, so I appreciate that. And the next order on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from December 6th. Paul did circulate those earlier in the month. Did everyone get a chance to read them? Were there any? Yeah. So we should have discussion. Was everybody? Did everybody feel that they accurately represented the December 6th meeting, or would there be any discussion? Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for December 6th, 2021 meeting.
Wonderful.
I'll
Do I
second
hear?
it.
Awesome. Thank you. All those in favor, say aye or raise your hand if you can't speak.
Aye.
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 Fantastic. Any objections? Any abstentions? That motion carries. Kyle, you look to be next on the list for funds available for preliminary work and construction. Can you give us a little report?
Yeah, so in regards to the funds, there's $400,000 available from the MBTA, just to refresh everybody and for everybody that's not that is new. It's $400,000 available from the MBTA for construction of this property. And we requested that they allocate some of that for design. Jim town administrator, has been directly responsible for communicating with them, and he is reaching out to them all the time, asking them if we can do that, and he hasn't heard back yet. So with that being said, it's been a good while of him requesting and not hearing back on that request. So we're moving forward, just in case, with a grant proposal. And Corey, the coastal management officer, has been doing a great job so far. She is applying to, it's a one-stop for growth grant application where you can apply, you can submit a concept idea to a bunch of different grants. And we're going to submit to that grant opportunity for the design of this property, just in case. So that's an update on number 3, and I'll just move into 4 and then answer
Perfect.
questions. So 4 is a request for proposals for design proposals for the park at Pier 44. So an update basically on the RFP process. So the last meeting we had, we were in talks with MAPC, where they were going to create the RFP. That RFP is to go out to bid for a design team to actually design this property. We felt good about MAPC doing the work. We thought it was going to come in around $5,000. That's what they initially said, but the quote came back at $10,000. We're willing to pay less, but $10,000 was just too much. So we decided to create the RFP in-house. Corey created that RFP, which we've been reviewing. We've sent out a draft to everybody to review. Jim and Nancy are adding some language in there in regards to procurement and some other things, but as far as the main meat and potatoes of that RFP, everything's in there. We'd be happy to hear your feedback. And then once we have everybody's input, we're still going to be waiting for the funding before we can send that out. So that's pretty much an overview of where we're at. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I actually would like to commend you and Corey on the work that you've done. I thought the RFP was a really great start. And I think it looks good. I've read a lot of those, and I think you guys did a good job on that.
Awesome. Thank you, Corey. She's put in a lot of hard work.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope if you guys have had a chance to take a look at it and read through it, open to feedback. If something looks, not right. I haven't been, with you throughout this process. So I've been doing, so a lot of what I wrote was just based on like past meeting minutes and piecing things together. So if there's something that I missed or got wrong, please, let me know.
I had a couple of questions. So one was, obviously, I think you were hoping to release this earlier because we're looking at it on January 20th, and we were saying, it says that the RFP will be issued on January 17th. So I'm assuming we're going to be adjusting the timeline a little bit.
Yeah, the time frame will be adjusted based on the date it's actually released.
Yes.
But hoping to stick to that general time frame.
And there was, so the legal contract and procurement stuff, that's what's coming from Jim Boudreau.
Nancy, I believe Nancy will incorporate that. Yeah.
That's Nancy Holt?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. I had a question. Who will be actually reviewing the proposals? Is that the commission? Is that the town?
I think how it's traditionally done is that the town sets up a team, but we could talk about it, whatever you guys felt was best, everyone felt was best, but you could have a team of town staff, you could have a team that's a hybrid, or it could be the committee. So whatever everyone felt was best. That's a great question, actually. And we haven't thought about the team that will review them yet. We haven't got that far.
Yeah. So it's something that we as the commission should discuss before the end of the meeting. I
think a good representation of the different, stakeholders and having the engineering department review would be important and different town staff. So I think it'd be great to have a mix of everybody.
I
So
do
it
too.
doesn't-
I mean,
Doesn't have
Oh,
to
go
be low
ahead.
bid. I'm sorry, Patrice, I didn't mean to interrupt. It doesn't have to
No.
be low bid.
I will have to look into that, but I think we might be, Corey, did you do a request for,
I didn't include a price. So it's weighted based on a bunch of different criteria. And price proposal is definitely part of it, but not all of it. So I think it'll be weighted, each proposal will be scored, and we can nominate somebody from the committee to, or, 2 people or something from the committee to be part of the review team. But the the criteria will be, it's explained in the RFP, but there's a scoring
Right.
system based on a bunch of different criteria, not just price.
Okay.
yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna jump in. I did appoint Patrice and me to work on that with the town. Sorry.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's Andrew Goodrich. How are you? Yeah, again, and due to the nature of how these bids are going to be coming in as well, I'm expecting the nature is going to be so different and how it is. It's my understanding too that it's not just low bid, because it's going to be the type of use and how we're doing it. So.
The only other comment I had, Corey, was on page 6, which is under section, it's under 511, other desired features if feasible. There were 3 bullets that fall under page 6, and one is install a low maintenance children's splash pad, and then the final one is the interactive sculpture. That's actually this one and the same. So the interactive sculpture is meant to be a water feature that would double as a children's splash pad, rather than having 2 separate features. It would be rather than one or the other, it would be one combined.
Okay, yeah, great. I can reword that. Yeah, so I was just trying to piece together from notes
Yes.
and meetings, so I wasn't there for that conversation.
You did a great job culling
Thanks.
together from everything. Did anyone else have any comments or thoughts?
So this is Jeff Dugan. For some reason, my camera went out. It'll come back on, I'm sure, at some point. I did want to just call out that I really like the language of the universal design and compliance with applicable accessibility laws. I don't know if you want a list of those or anything, but I think at least having that in there was a good call out. So I appreciate that, seeing that in there.
Craig or Jen?
No, I just think after reading through it, that it definitely incorporated a lot of the feature, I should say all of the features that we had discussed at previous meetings. So it's a long list, but if we can get everything, it's going to be amazing.
Exactly. So I feel like we could move on to the next agenda item unless people felt that there was more to discuss.
The only thing is can I just say one thing, Patrice? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, of course.
With the time change, or I should say the timeline change, will we have everything in place before town meeting? I know that was sort of our goal.
I know that was our goal, but I think that we can't rush it either.
Right.
So we can continue to work towards that as our goal, but we also don't want it to fail at town meeting because we
don't have everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have to do due process. So we'll keep that as our goal and we'll see what happens. That's my response to that.
That is perfectly acceptable response.
Okay. That is, I mean, I think it still is a priority if we can do it, but we're only at like a week or 2 after that. It's going to be tight. It will definitely be tight.
Madam Chair, I step in. I think we'll be closing the warrant in pretty shortly for what will actually be able to be on there. But for better or for worse, let's not forget that it's almost become controversial a little bit, but the annual fall town meeting.
Yep.
The annual.
The October town meeting, right?
Yeah.
The October town meeting, right? The likelihood of that seems to be becoming, more and more likely, which really only puts us off a few months.
Mhm.
Right.
And to finish this whole process up within a year would be a monumental feat. So
Yeah.
I would not be discouraged if that's our end goal or our end result.
Yeah.
So,
Well, actually, you may remember I said exactly that at our very first meeting a few months ago. So while I respect the wish to get this in the pipeline for that, I also know that we have to be cognizant of crossing our T's and dotting our I's. And whatever we do, it's as long as we're intentional with it, I think it will be a good end product. But what I agree, I want to echo what you said earlier, Jen. It's a very comprehensive RFP. I do feel that we listened to the feedback that we've received. And I actually think that's a nice segue to the next part of our agenda, which is the reports from the commissioners, but where each of us have from our respective committees, put this forth and discuss that. And I think that we've been trying our best to fold that in. And I look forward to working with whoever ends up being the landscape designers on ensuring that the community's voice is really evident in the final product. So on that note, I will just ask, I'm just gonna, now that I am a little more composed, I can call on all of the commissioners and ask for reports. And I will provide mine at the end. So Jen, do you have any reports from Scituate Rec?
So I don't even remember the date of our last meeting. Everything seems like it seems like it was months ago, but it was in December. I just sort of presented everything that we had talked about up until that point, and they were thrilled that this project was moving forward.
Right.
And they can't wait to see what it becomes. They have no questions or concerns at this point, but know that all they have to do is let me know, and I will present it here to this committee. But right now they are thumbs up for this project.
Good. Craig, what about your committee?
Yeah, no, I try to reach out to the people that bought Daubers,
Mhm.
and I haven't had any feedback from them. I did see that there's going to be some sort of reach out to the people that are butters, and I was wondering who has that list of who we're gonna reach out to, and maybe I can help in talking to the people that bought Daubers. Kyle, do you know who the list of people are going to be notified that this is going to be going on?
Typically, you'd create like a certified abutters list. So
Does
it
the
would
town do that?
Yeah. And it's basically something we create in GIS where it will like pin all the properties within a certain distance. And then we'll probably notify them via certified mail to
Okay.
invite them to the public planning process.
And that'll be well after the RFP and the design
Yeah.
phase?
Yeah, I know when I did the downtown harbor master plan, we did go door to door to the businesses and just like to get everyone involved. It was kind of a fun outreach effort. So I'm not opposed to your efforts.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be more than happy if I just don't know who is the responsible person at the company that bought Daubers.
Okay.
It's such a big company. I've reached out a couple of times and I get no response back.
Okay. Yeah, we'll note that. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Jeff, did you have a committee report for us?
I don't actually have a full report. It's obviously the commission's excited about it. The members are excited about it. We'll have probably a more lengthy discussion now that the RFP has been proposed. So there's more to report back to them through this. And I've only been here a couple meetings, so I'm still trying to get my feet wet and involved. So I will do a more thorough report, especially now that I have the minutes in front of me as well. I can go over it with the commission when we have our next meeting in February. So
Excellent. Paul, do you have any reports for us? We're having,
Unmute, Paul.
He's on mute, I think.
Yeah, I know there's echo when I do this. Yeah, we've reviewed it with EDC. We're all very excited about it.
awesome. And then I have presented it as well to the Scituate Harbor Cultural District and to the West Cork Sister City Committee. And everyone likewise very excited. It actually formed a nice part of our conversation on, I guess it was a week ago, last week for the Scituate Harbor Cultural District. A newer member suggested that we use the space, that we add water taxis. It's more of a larger master plan for town harbor usage, but I thought that was an interesting component that she put into that. So I told her I would put it forth and maybe it would be something that could be added in, but that was something that did come up. But otherwise, the Scituate Harbor Cultural District did like the idea that because this falls within the district, that it would create a nice link between what we think of as the heart of the cultural district being Front Street, but that also extends all the way to the lighthouse. So it creates a nice walking trail towards that. And that it brands us a little stronger. So that is that. And now it is time for public comment. Do any of our visitors from the public have
Grace,
any? Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I think Sue DePessa had her hand. I don't know.
Yes.
Sue, did you? Sorry.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
That's okay. I actually was going to throw Fran McMillan under the bus just to see if he could make some comments about the water taxi. And I think he said he had spoken to the people who maybe bought daubers. Maybe we can connect him with Craig. Fran, sorry.
Yeah, Craig, did you by any chance talk to Jason Dolly?
No, I don't think that was the person I tried to reach out to.
Got a pencil?
Sure.
Jason Dolly, he's the marina representative for TPG,
Okay.
area code 914-804-0357.
Okay.
He's
Great.
representing all the marinas that they're currently managing.
Okay, I'll give him a call.
Okay.
Now, Fran, as far as a water taxi there, at mid-tide and lower, there's no real access to that area, right?
No, I would be going in there. I don't think we're going to have water access from that location anyway.
So it would all be through Daubers, somehow get access out to the gas dock or something?
Yes, from the marina itself.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let me reach out to Jason.
Hope that helps.
Yep, thank you.
Was there any other public comment? I'm hearing none. I guess we should move to the next agenda item, which would be confirming our action items and our agenda items for the next meeting. So I guess our action items are that Corey is going to continue working on the RFP. She'll be folding in Jim's and Nancy's comments. If any of us have any editorial content, we should probably send that along. And with the goal, so Corey, were you given sort of an idea from Jim of a timeline when he thought that he might be able to provide you with all of the information?
I've been directly communicating with Jim,
Okay.
and I know he's reviewing it now, so I think he's working with Kevin Cafferty and Nancy Holt to just get some missing pieces, and he was doing that last week, so it should be soon. He didn't give me a specific date, but I feel like it should be coming next week.
So we should be voting on the final draft. And is that, this is a question, I guess, for you and for Paul. Does the commission need to vote on the RFP, or are we just reviewing? I wasn't positive about our action items relevant to the RFP.
Yeah, we're just reviewing. It's come out of Jim's office.
Okay. So, so then the timeline is hopefully within the next week, this document will be finalized and will be released out to the ethers, and hopefully we'll start getting responses. So our action
I would
item,
just say more accurately, by next week, we'll have all the comments, and then by the following week, it'll be finalized.
perfect. Well, just in time for us to meet again.
Yeah.
I don't know,
So-
Kyle, do you have an idea of when we might actually release it?
Yeah, so that's the next question is, it could be in 2 weeks if we hear back from the MBTA tomorrow. Or
Right,
it could be whenever we hear back from the MBTA. So I know that Jim's really putting a lot of pressure on them, trying to get that information. So hopefully in 2 weeks, but I just want to caution that if we don't hear back from the MBTA in 2 weeks, we will be waiting until we hear back, which is why we're submitting for a grant, just in case.
Yeah.
We've been talking to the MBTA since October.
Hmm.
That is the truth, yeah.
So if I am to look at, I'm trying to determine our action items. I don't really know if we have any action items, Paul. It doesn't seem
No.
appear to me that we have any specific, just
Yeah,
that we.
I don't think we do.
Okay, perfect. So then our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 3rd at 7 PM. Typical, I think Paul sends out the link and we respond to it. But I think unless there is any other issues that people would like to bring up, any old or new business.
Hey, Patrice, so I've added Corey to the invitation for our meetings, and we'll include her on all the distributions. And welcome aboard, Corey. Thank you so much.
Yes, really, you've done quite a bit. You've made quite an impact in your short time there. So congrats and
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
Nice job.
So on that note, I guess I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at, is it 7:35?
It is.
All right.
I will second that motion.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
That motion carries. Have a lovely evening, everyone. I will see you in 2 weeks. And
Thank you,
hopefully Paul
Patrice.
can reach
Thanks,
chair.
everyone.
Everybody.
Have a great evening. Take care.
Good night.